One of the excellent things about the Bahamas is that it is an archipelago consisting of 700 islands and over 2,000 keys. And of course, the whole world knows that we experienced Hurricane Dorian 1st and 2nd of September. And I love to say we welcome all visitors. That's one visitor we could have done without. But what has resulted? Two of our islands were severely impacted. And we're so busy trying to let the world know that 2 out of 700 means that there's still 698, if my math is right. But we actively promote 16 islands, and so we have gotten the message out. 14 islands are still open for business. In fact, the campaign was 14 Islands welcomes you with open arms. And that has been the mantra of the last 6-7 weeks, letting the world know that we're still open for business. And the best way that people can help us in the Bahamas is continuing to come for their holidays there. We know that world travel market is one of the largest, if not the largest, travel and tourism trade shows. And not to be here would have just been a terrible mistake, especially as we look to get the message out that the Bahamas are main cities, Nassau, the capital, Paradise Island, Eleuthera, Exuma, islands that are known to our European and UK market and traveller. If we were not here in person to answer questions, to allay fears, the airports are operational, hotels are functional, that we are open, and also to answer any questions that people may have had about the islands that were impacted by Dorian as well. I talk about the Bahamas being an archipelago. You arrive on the capital, Nassau, Paradise Island, the main international airport, the Lynden Pindling International Airport, and you would have no idea that there was a storm that ever hit the Bahamas. I've had to try and put it in a way that people can understand. If I'm in the United States, I use the example. If something happens in California, you don't assume that New York is impacted. And I just said most recently to someone in London, if something happened in Brighton or in Leeds, you won't say, I wouldn't travel to London. Or if I go to London, I'll see what has happened in Leeds or Brighton. And that's actually the space that we're talking about. The Bahamas consists over 100,000 square miles, so the geography is huge. So no, you can have a perfect holiday. And again, if I can say, a lot of people are calling us and saying, I feel rather guilty about coming to Nassau or Exuma or Harbour Island for my holidays, knowing the devastation that occurred on Abaco, for example. And we keep saying, please, the best way that you can help us is by coming, because that vacation that you take really helps us to help the people of Abaco and Grand Bahama. Tourism is actually the cornerstone of the Bahamian economy. We know that it accounts for 50% of GDP, and when you add indirect and induced contribution, that number is said to go up to 60%. And so it is huge. Should tourism dry up for any reason, we will feel it. And I think people look at it as just a fun activity. It's people coming on holidays, laying by the beach. But what they don't understand is it's the greatest employer of persons in the Bahamas. It enables Bahamians send their kids to school, pay a mortgage, pay for medical expenses that may arise, but it also contributes to our infrastructure, to our way of life, so critically important. And that's why we do feel the loss of Abaco and Grand Bahama. Abaco actually is the second largest island in terms of visitor arrival numbers, but it accounts for about 10%. So to lose that out of the pie, that's a big chunk of visitors. And of course, we look forward to seeing them come back and rebounding. Grand Bahama is slowly rebounding. In fact, they're 80% up and running, and they keep reminding me, please don't say only 14 islands are open, because we are almost there. And I'm glad to be able to report that.